Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here on the mat today. My name is Melody and I am so excited to be sharing today's practice with you. For today's flow, we are going to be working on a prenatal sequence that's going to be appropriate for your first and your second trimester, sort of depending on how you're feeling. We're really looking at that first half of your pregnancy. So, second trimester, you can kind of judge where you're at and what you're looking for, but hopefully this flow will help you find a little bit of ease in your body, connecting into your breath, and also give you a little bit of that strength and stretch that we're looking for and we're craving, that little bit of normalcy and control over our body that you might be wishing you had more of during this pregnancy. I know during my first and second trimester, I was pretty nauseous and pretty sick. And if that is the case for you, please feel free to move slowly to make sure when you're coming out of things like down dog and forward fold that you're really grounding down through your feet and moving slow. So we're not getting too dizzy and we're not getting too nauseous along the way. And of course, you are always welcome to take a break whenever you need that, whether it is resting in a child's pose, coming down to a seat, or even laying all the way down on your side or on your back if that's still comfortable. Whatever it is you need, just listen to your body and go from there. I hope that this practice will serve you, and I can't wait to hear what you think about it. To get started today, we're going to take a nice easy seat. You can find a crisscross applesauce or a sukhasana. You can feel free to prop up on a bolster or a blanket, or you can even stretch your legs out wide and long, especially if you're having some of that round ligament pain and there's a little bit of discomfort in your pelvis and your hips. Whatever happens with your low body is fine. Just settle in. We're going to stack shoulders over hips. We're going to lift our heart gently to the sky. Pull our ears up nice and tall and drop our shoulder blades down our back. And then when you're ready, you can close your eyes down if that feels good to you. We're going to give ourselves a big breath in through our nose and out our mouth like a sigh. We'll take 2 more of those. Big, full, deep inhale. Exhale, drop your jaw, let it go. 1 more. And if you like, you might bring right hand to your belly, left hand to your heart. Feel that connection from yourself to that sweet little life inside you. Begin to notice your own heartbeat in your chest. Begin to imagine and visualize how it is linked to your baby's heartbeat in your belly. We're going to give ourselves a few slow, full rounds of breath right here. Allowing your torso, front and back, and side to side to expand as we breathe in. And soften as we breathe out. Notice how you're feeling right now, in this moment. And try to rid yourself of any judgment. of those feelings or sensations, whether they're physical, emotional, or mental. Just know that they're temporary. And breathe into them, slow and steady. And we'll take 2 more breaths right here. On our next inhale, sweep those arms overhead, fingertips high to the sky. Exhale brings palms to touch, thumbs to your heart center. If you like, you might set an intention or an offering for today's practice. It can be personal to you, your pregnancy, or your baby. Or perhaps global or community-wide, out to the world around you. When you're ready, we'll release palms back down to our lap and just take some slow and easy neck rolls, rotating around. Again, if you are suffering from that nausea or sickness, maybe don't bring that head backwards. Maybe stay forward, just rocking from ear to ear. If you haven't yet, switch directions. And then gently we'll bring our chin back to center, lift our face up nice and easy, and take a couple blinks to open those eyes. From here, we're gonna come to a tabletop for all fours. So we're gonna bring palms under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to spread our fingers wide and press down with our shin bones. And then we're going to take a side-to-side action here, almost like you were skiing, rocking those hips right and left. Notice that little bit of stretch at the outer band of your glutes and your thighs. If you like, you can start to exaggerate that C curve by turning your nose to the opposite hip you're moving towards. Almost like you were doing a little lateral crunch, an oblique crunch. We'll take 1 more each way. And we'll come right back to center and find those cat-cows. So inhale is going to drop our belly, lift our chest. Exhale, round your spine, look back at that belly button. Take a couple more of those, smooth and easy, linking movement to breath. We'll take 2 more. And come right back to center. From here, we're going to find a puppy pose. So hips are going to stay right over our knees. Palms are going to walk forward to the top edge of your mat. And that chest is going to sink down to the earth. You can rest on your forehead, on your chin, or on an ear, whatever feels good. Think about spreading fingers wide and softening down through your armpits while reaching up through your tail. And we're going to take 3 big breaths right here, opening across that chest and that heart, stretching through your back and your belly. Give it 1 more. And slowly we're going to come back up to tabletop. And then we'll tuck our toes and press our hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And you might take a couple moments in this first down dog to lift and lower your heels or pedal your knees or even shake your head and circle your jaw. Whatever feels good here. Get those wiggles and shimmies and shakes out. Blow away those cobwebs in our joints and our muscles for one more breath. On our next inhale, we're going to come to the top of a plank and we're going to hold it right here for a moment. So knees can stay lifted or knees can drop down to the earth. We're aiming for a straight line from your knee creases to your shoulders. Staying nice and strong, making sure the back of your neck continues that straight line. So our nose points down ahead of our fingertips. Take a big inhale. And on our exhale, if our knees aren't already down, go ahead and drop them. And we're just going to gently bend our elbows and start to let our pelvis soften to the mat. So we come into a nice, easy cobra without lowering all the way down. Neck stays long, shoulders stay down and back, elbows point to the back of the room. Find a big breath in this heart opener. And then on your exhale, press back through your tabletop into a downward dog. We're going to take just that 2 more times. So inhale brings us forward to that plank. On or off our knees, we're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then gently soften your elbows. Let pubic bone drop down as your heart lifts up and through. Big inhale. Exhale back to your down dog. Good. We've got one more round. Inhale pulls us forward. Hold it here for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften into that cobra, lifting your heart, fingers wide. And then this time we'll head back to a child's pose. It might feel really nice to take your knees nice and wide, toes together. Sink your hips to your heels. And again, rest down. Either finding forehead, chin, or maybe the opposite ear we had earlier. Let elbows and palms relax. Give it 3 big breaths. Like I said, know that you are always, always welcome to come back to this shape whenever you need it. We'll find our way back through a table. And then pressing into this table so we're nice and strong. We're going to spread the fingers wide on our left hand and reach our right arm straight ahead. When we feel good and confident here, we're going to stretch left toes straight back. So we've got opposite arm and leg. We're aiming for a straight line, parallel across from thumb to heel. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And take your opposite side, left arm stretches long. When you're ready, right toes kick back. Good. Make sure we're not dropping our weight into any of our supporting joints or limbs, but staying nice and strong. And we'll lower down. We're going to take just those actions on our breath. So inhale, we're going to lift right arm, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, switch, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. And just keep that going with your breath. Inhale to reach out and away. Exhale, settle back into our tabletop. If we find our balance is a little off, pick a point on your mat to focus into your drishti, your gazing point. And see if we can slow down and really engage as we move out and back. We're going to take one more round, right and left. And when we're done, we'll come back to our down dog, hips high. And this time we're gonna look up at our thumbs. We're gonna step one hand up, or one foot up to the outside of its hand. Our other foot up to the outside of its hand. They might be off the mat, that's okay. Toes are gonna turn out slightly and we're gonna sink down into our Malasana squat. So if you wanna grab a block or a blanket to put under your heels or under your tush here, you can. Hands can stay on the mat for a little bit of balance, or they can come up to your heart if we're feeling really good and centered in this Malasana. And we're gonna hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Palms are gonna come down, toes are gonna turn in as our hips lift high to the sky, and we find that fold. You can hang out right here in a fold, or you can even take a ragdoll by crossing elbows and gently rocking side to side. Make sure head and neck are released. And again, if we are feeling a little nauseous, keep a generous bend in your knees and keep those palms planted on the earth. Give it one more big breath. And in slow motion, we're gonna roll up, stacking our spine one vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing. Take a couple shoulder rolls right at the top, get yourself centered and settled into your mountain pose. Your mountain might be a little wider than typical, with your feet a little wider than your hips. When you're steady, inhale, sweep those arms high to the sky. Exhale, forward fold down to your toes, bend your knees. Inhale, palms on your shins, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, rise to standing, arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take that standing vinyasa 2 more times. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to soften. Inhale, rise up, fingertips sweep the ceiling. Exhale, palms to prayer. Last round, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. This round we're going to add on, so we're going to inhale nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, come to your fingertips. Let your left foot step all the way to the back of the mat for a nice high lunge. From here, our left hand's going to stay on the mat and our right fingertips are going to sweep up into a twist. Feel that nice stretch in your glute, that strength in your hamstring. Make sure front toes can wiggle and press back into your back heel. Give it one more big breath in. And then on your exhale, we're going to bring that right hand down. We're going to walk ourselves into an open, wide-legged lunge. So you might give your toes a little pigeon toe, turning them in. And then we're going to come on down. You can find palms, you can find elbows. Hands might even make it to the outer ankles. Whatever feels good right here. Give it one more big round of breath. And from here, we're going to take hands to our hips, draw up at your pelvic floor, and rise to standing. Good. Toes are going to turn out on the diagonal to the wide corners of your mat. Inhale is going to sweep us tall, arms high, and exhale, make a field goal with your arms as we sink into that goddess squat. Elbows and knees press back, so shoulder blades draw together behind us. Fingers and toes spread wide. We're going to take this action on a flow, so inhale is going to straighten and lengthen. Exhale, bend and strengthen. Good, a couple more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, reach it up. Toes are going to swivel to the front edge of the mat, and we're going to find our warrior 2. So front knee still stays pressing back nice and wide like it did in Goddess. Heels are pulling away from each other on the mat, as are our fingertips stretching long. Strong warrior 2 here. You can sink down into that lunge as much or as little as you like. And then we're going to let this back hand rest on our thigh. Front palm's going to flip. We're going to come up and over, reverse warrior. From here, front arm's going to bend, resting elbow on front eye. Back arm comes up and over your top ear into extended side angle. We're going to take these 2 postures as a flow. So inhale sends you into that reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Our lower body isn't moving at all. Those feet are planted. The legs are strong. All of this action is happening in our upper body from the belly button up. Give it 1 more round. Good. Bring it back to that warrior 2. And then cartwheel those arms around. Frame your front foot and step back to your downward facing dog. You can hang out here in this down dog, or if you like, you can vinyasa through, coming forward to plank. Finding that soft cobra, lowering knees, lowering pubic bone, bending elbows, lifting heart. Exhale, take it back to your down dog. From here, we're going to step back to the top of our mat. See if you can step forward with your opposite foot first to the outside of your palm. Second foot. Toes turn out. We sink into that malasana with or without our hands for balance and support. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Palms down, toes turn in, hips lift. Find that fold. Sink into it for a full breath. Shake your head yes and no. And then roll on up nice and easy. Good. Taking our opposite side. Inhale's going to sweep us tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, come to fingertips. This time, right foot steps all the way back. Right hand comes down to the mat and left arm sweeps up into that twist. So we're pulling apart at our shoulders. We're not letting ourselves sink into that supporting shoulder. We're pressing into the 3 corners of this front foot, big toe, little toe, and heel, and pushing our back heel away from us for a little added calf stretch. Give it 1 more breath right here. And we'll lower down. We're going to rotate wide to the side. This time we'll rise all the way up to standing. Toes pointed in at a pigeon toe. If you like, hands can come behind you to interlace. Press your knuckles down to the mat. Lift your heart on an inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Thumbs might stay right on your sacrum, or if it feels good, they can draw up and overhead, reaching the wall behind you for a little shoulder stretch. Bend your knees if you need a little security, a little stability here. See if you can relax that space between your shoulder blades. And give it 1 more big breath. Slowly, thumbs retract back to your sacrum. Hands find your hips, and we rise to standing nice and easy. Toes are going to turn out on the diagonal. Inhale is going to sweep us tall. We're going to take those same goddess squats. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, bring it up. We're going to take 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. Toes swivel to the front edge of your mat. Find your warrior 2 on the opposite side. Feel your heart and your chest open, long and broad across your collarbones. Feel the stability and the strength here. And really try to find that new center point, that new balance with your growing belly in the middle. Back hand's going to drop to back thigh. Front palm's going to flip. We're going to come up and back to reverse. And then front elbow's going to bend. Rest on our front thigh. Back arm up and over our ear for side angle. Finding these 2 postures in a flow. Inhale is going to bring us back. Exhale brings us forward. So we're focusing on creating a lot of space in our side body and those ribs, which can be really helpful the bigger we get. We can start to utilize that lung capacity as we tend to get a little smushed. Give it 2 more. And we'll come right back to our warrior 2. And then cartwheel those arms around, step back to your downward dog. Again, you can hang out in down dog or you can flow through, coming forward to plank. Softening gently into that cobra and bringing it back to your down dog. From here, our left heel is going to come high to the sky. And we're going to find a pigeon pose. So left knee is going to come to left wrist. Ankle aims for right wrist. Back toes scooch away from us. And then soften down. We might even look back at that back leg. Make sure you're on your kneecap and on your toenails and not rotating in any direction. And then when it feels good, gently, gently fold over that front shin. Maybe finding elbows, maybe finding forehead, maybe even taking a block underneath. We're going to let ourselves soften here for a few breaths. So notice anything you're holding on to, any tension, any strength, any stress. And see if you can allow your exhales to let that go. We're going to take 5 more breaths. Slow and deep, just like at the beginning of class in our seat. Give it 2 more. Last one. And when we're ready, we're going to come to our palms. Take them just a little wider than our shin, our knee and our foot. Tuck our back toe, lift that back kneecap, and step it back to your downward dog. And you can wiggle, you can pedal, you can recenter your weight. We'll find our opposite side, so right heel is going to stretch to the ceiling. And then we're going to draw right knee to right wrist. Ankle aims for left wrist. Back toes inchworm backwards. We might even look back at that back leg. Make sure we have a long straight line resting on the top of that leg. And then when we're ready, Find that fold, however much or little you need today, and it might be different than the other side, and that's all right. Again, take a quick scan. Notice where we're holding on. Notice where it feels similar or different from the left side. And allow those exhales to soften those spaces as though you could sink another inch into the mat. We're going to take 6 more breaths. One more. And we'll find our palms. Nice and wide. We've got a big base. Back toe tucks, knee lifts. And we step back to our downward dog. Again, wiggle, shake, or shimmy. And we'll come back down to tabletop. We'll take our knees as wide as the mat, toes together, and sink back into your child's pose. We're going to add a little twist into this child's pose. So right arm is going to thread underneath left armpit. Bring outer shoulder, outer elbow to the mat. Rest that left elbow back down, and then rest your right ear to the earth. So right palm is up, left palm is down. We should get a nice deep stretch behind that right shoulder blade. Soften in your hips and your pelvic girdle. Soften those knee creases and ankle creases. And take 4 more breaths. And gently we're going to unwind and find our opposite side. So left arm's going to thread under right armpit. Outer edge comes to the mat and we relax down through ears and palms. Imagine your breath expanding at your upper ribs, but also at your lower back at that sacrum, maybe even all the way down to your tail. Feel your belly between your thighs, soft and relaxed. And give it 3 more breaths. And slowly we'll unwind. We're going to come back to a table, but we're going to make it nice and wide. So knees and toes as wide as the mat to start. And then we're going to take both feet, kick them to the left, and sit back to come into a pinwheel or a stag posture. So we've got our knees nice and wide. Back toes are pointing towards our tush. Front heel is in line with our belly button or our pubic bone. We're going to take a big inhale, sweep those arms high to the sky, and we're going to twist gently to the right, so towards this front knee. Front hands can come to either knee, whatever feels good. Back arm's going to come behind you and press into the earth to help you lift your heart, and maybe turn your chin to the back of the room. From here, we'll unwind back to center. Palms are gonna come forward, come through that tabletop. Kick your toes to the right. And sink back into your pinwheel on this side. Again, knees moving at a wide angle, toes pointing opposite directions at a tight angle. From here, we're gonna inhale tall and exhale, twist to that left side. Hand on either knee, heart proud, shoulders soft, and maybe chin rotates. And we'll unwind. From here, we're going to come all the way down to our spines. Feet are going to stay on the mat while we get that spine centered and settled. And we're going to come to a reclined eagle. So our right knee is going to cross over left, like we were seated cross-legged in a chair. If that feels great and you want to go a little further, lift your knees so thighs are parallel. And if you still want to go further, wrap that toe around your calf. So we're all twisted up. When you feel settled in your low body, we're going to add our upper body. So fingertips to the ceiling. Left elbow over right. Either give yourself a hug or wrap through your forearms for full Garudasana arm. So we've got Supta Garudasana, reclined eagle. Breathe into all of those crevices, all of those little twists and turns we've created with arms and legs. Take one more big breath. And we're going to unwind our arms, bring them like a field goal on the floor on either side of us. Unwind your legs, set feet down as wide as the mat, and take some windshield wiper twists, just rocking right and left. And we'll come right back to center and find our opposite side. So left ankle is going to cross over right, seated cross-legged in a chair. If you want to go a little further, lift your toes. If you want to go a little further, wrap them around. When that feels steady, add your upper body this time. Right elbow on top, either for a big hug or for the full twist of those arms. Notice everywhere that your body is touching itself. Notice all the points where your limbs cross or wrap. Think of it as giving yourself, your baby, your own energy, a great big hug, a little security blanket. Take one more breath. Unwind those arms, come to our field goal or cactus. Unwind your legs, take feet wide, and find those traction twists or windshield wiper twists right and left. From here, we'll make our way into Shavasana. So if it's still comfortable for you to lay flat on your back, feel free just to stretch those legs out long. If you're past that point in your pregnancy, roll to your left side. Find a fetal position on that left side. Whatever you choose, allow hands and feet to become soft. Wrists and ankles to relax. Elbows and knees to drop down. Hips and shoulders become heavier. Our eyes close. Our jaw releases. Our breath begins to slow. And our mind begins to find some stillness. We'll rest here in this Shavasana for a few moments. Allowing our body, our mind, our heart, and that tiny life inside us to integrate and absorb all the work we've just done. Notice the gentle buzzing and vibration of your cells in your limbs, arms, and legs. Begin to imagine or visualize that same soft vibration in your belly and in your baby. And if you've got the gift of time today, feel free to stay right where you are as long as you need or want. If you're ready, go ahead and take some gentle movements to your fingers and to your toes, to your wrists, and to your ankles. You might reach your arms overhead, finding a long, full body stretch. And gently draw your feet to the earth, your knees bent, so that you can roll onto your left side. And slowly press your way up into a nice, easy seat, right where we began. From here, again, we'll take a hand to our belly, a hand to our heart. Finding a big full inhale through our nose and a cleansing sigh out our mouth. Give yourself a moment to take stock of how you're feeling now. Whether that be physically, emotionally, or mentally. And again, we'll find a big breath in through our nose. And out through our mouth. With a couple blinks, we'll open up our eyes. Draw hands to prayer, thumbs to sternum. Divine light in me loves and honors the divine light within you. Namaste. Again, thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, your practice, and your pregnancy with me. I hope you are feeling well, and I cannot wait to hear all about what you thought of our practice and what you're looking forward to more in your own pregnancy journey and also in our continued yoga videos. Please, please, please leave a comment or send me a message. I'm always happy to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.